Chris?
Oh man, I feel good, man. Good weekend of boxing for sure.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Big weekend in boxing. Big weekend in boxing. Yeah, that was a stat card, Chris.
Super.
From top to bottom. You had Abdullah Mason win his first world title. I feel
Congrats
like
to young
everybody.
fella. Congrats to the young fella. I've been in arenas with him when it was little small back room bar joints. You know what I mean? All the way up
Yeah.
to being world champion, man. So hey, look, congrats to the Mason family. Y'all did y'all thing, man. Y'all took the kid to the promised land.
Did you know?
Yeah, yeah. I thought he would win. I knew it was gonna be tough.
No,
Sam
I'm saying,
Milton.
did you like back then? Did you see it?
Oh
Like
yeah,
when you
man.
looked at it?
Shout out to my man Coach Ty. My man Coach Ty from King says he used to love Abdullah Mason. He used to always talk about how that kid was going to be a world champion. I agree with him, but he was dead on. He was spot on. I got to give him his credit.
Yo, was that TY in the chat?
It might be. He might be. That might be Ty in there. He
Okay.
definitely called it when the kid was like 8. We used to go up. We used to go down Baltimore and go all these different places, and we would always see him. And the kid was always special, man. He, like I said, and guys like that are just guys like that. When you think about the Abdullah Masons, Devin Haney's, the Boots, I mean, these guys been special since they was kids, man.
Mm. Yo, Abdullah really reminds me of Boots. Like the good, and of course, some of the things that we want him to work on.
100%.
He
But
reminds
that's
me of.
what makes you watch, though. The fact that
Yeah.
they are vulnerable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Where you want to start at?
Well, you started in the right place. I think Abdullah Mason, like I said, congrats to him and his family. Most people have no idea what it takes to take a kid from the amateurs all the way up to a world championship. That's not normal. That's not something that you see every day. That's not something that, happens with the average fighter. That takes something special. And he is that.
Yo, my interactions with him, he's a young man. Like when you look up young man in a dictionary, it's him sitting there, like
Sure.
respectable, carries himself with class. Just he's a young man. I love that fucking kid, yo. Like that shit, like nothing else could have made me happier watching him win a world title. 21 years old, man. That put a smile on my face, yo.
Most importantly, he wants to fight. He wants to fight, and you can't call him the Tom and Jerry or none of the stuff they like to put on young black African American fighters. I mean, the kid's special, man. Like I said, all those guys, they're special. They ain't really got to do no ducking, and him Boots, Shakur, all them guys, Tiafimo, them guys ain't got to do none of that weird stuff. They all special fighters, man. They've been fighting this way since they was kids.
Now, what do you do with him now? Like, is it now you got to take him back to Cleveland? Now it's time to get him his. I know he's a world champion, but he's still a young fighter.
Yeah.
So now is it time to get him his? Is it too soon for Edwin De Los Santos? Like, get him a couple of those before you talk unifications.
If I would definitely get some Cleveland work for sure. I get him a couple Cleveland joints that he deserved it, he earned it, and then definitely after about maybe 2 more, definitely he got to go to unification for sure, 100%. I mean, what else is there at 135?
Now you moved your son before. You know exactly how much it costs. You know like the ins and outs. What in your mind? What would your first title defense be? Like, give me the right opponent.
I'm taking the Cleveland against whoever. It don't matter. I mean, he's going to have to take a. It's going to have to be at least a top 10, top 15 guy. So I mean,
Mm,
anybody in that range, definitely take him on. I could see him. I could see him with a Kid Austin for sure.
I like that fight.
It's a great fight. It's a fight. It's a fight that's going to get you respect. It's a fight that Kid and them say they want, and I think it'd be a good fight for as long as it lasts for either one of them. Somebody's going out. And what Abdullah showed you is, and what I love about him, and what I even loved about Dev and Boots and them guys, they willing to go out on their shield, man. They not shying away. They're not going to box for 12 rounds. They're going to fight you.
No, you never got a chance to meet Kris, but definitely if Kris goes to the next fight, Kris busy. They be throwing fights like every
December
month, every two
December
weeks. It
13th.
seems like
December 13th in Philly. You
yeah,
know what it is.
December 13th in Philly. So
Already
yeah,
know.
man, if you down here, my man he from here, but he live in Texas now. So
I'll tell him to come on. Hey, Danny Grandy and them be that shout out to the Grandy twins. They'll be fighting on the card. Come on down. I'll make sure you got a ticket. Come on down.
after that, of course, it was Bam Rodriguez, 10th round stoppage.
You
Well,
already
Cormier was good.
all right. For me, that was just a foregone conclusion. Like that was one of them Jones. Bam is in that groove. Like Bam is one of he young, but he in that groove. When you get in that groove where this shit just slow down for you and it's easy. Like that's the best part. You ain't even seen kids like Boots and Abdullah Mason. You ain't seen them get in that groove yet. When they real professionals, like they've been doing it for a long time. They know exactly how to approach the fight. Where they're true professional. When they get there, it's a wrap, bro.
Yeah, like down at them weights, I don't think that he can beat Junto or Inoue, but at 115, ain't nobody fucking with that kid.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
I,
He's in that groove. He's in his bag, man.
yeah, I think the other two dudes are too big, too strong right now.
Yeah,
Like you ever seen Nakatani?
yeah. They say he's a big dude. I never seen him in person.
Nakatani's
I
tall.
never seen him in person.
Yeah, he's like a tall, wiry puncher.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now I feel like those two guys are too big for him. But the contenders and all that, I think Bam would get him work.
Yeah, bring them all on. I mean, he's in that groove. He said he wants to retire early, and he don't really want to be around for a long time. So hey, look, he got to go.
All right, we'll work our way up the card. That was a unification bout, and I wasn't too familiar with the guy that he was in the ring with, but he seemed like he was strong, awkward, but a little green.
That's that's the new opponent. That I'm dropping bars now. That's the new opponent. The new opponent is not some bum. I remember back in the day we had skip fighters. Anybody know boxing? They know a skip fighter. You know what I mean? You get a skip fighter, skip bring him up from down North Carolina, and you knock him out.
Yo,
Eh,
what is
Anybody
it?
know
Is get a
boxing?
bum skip? Is that his name?
Skip fighter. You know what I mean? Everybody knew
Yeah.
the skip fighter. Now you get guys that they cool, they decent, but they just not on the level that you on. That's the new
Mm.
opponent. Can't keep fighting bums. That day is past.
Yeah. So now is it a guy that's necessarily a good fighter but not on the level, or is it a guy on short notice that
Both
has a good name?
both, but
Both.
I think with the Anthony Joshua fight with Ruiz and certain fights you bring in a late replacement, that shit might bite you in your ass. So
Facts.
it's a thing. It's a thing. But bringing a guy up that maybe just hasn't fought on the level that you fought on. Hey, look, you can definitely that's definitely a new that's a good touch. I mean, light touch. Paul.
Yeah, Vito Melnicki, he got a nice little knockout. He looked good. He looked good in that fight. In that fight, he looked good.
You remember house party? You remember they used to do house party, do this
Yeah.
shit right here? That's what you get. This what you get with that one. Yeah. You get that. I'm not even gonna comment on that.
That's you gonna comment on. All right.
You
All
not
right.
you not you not you know how you go to the buffet and I'm talking about one of the good ones, one that costs a couple dollars. You go to the
Mm,
buffet and you get something. I call it fresh off the menu. I mean, you get the fresh off the menu, and they give you they feed you the food, and you can
yeah.
cook it yourself like at the expensive restaurant. You cook it yourself real quick and eat it. That's what that was. You know what I mean? That was all that was fresh off the menu.
You said it was a Korean. What's this shit called? The melting pot.
That the melting
Yeah,
pot.
yeah, the melting.
That's what that was. That was the melting pot right there, fresh off the menu. Because at 160, it's a bunch of dogs up there. If you want to really fight, it's some dogs, some real dogs, some live dogs up
It
there.
is, and the only thing I can say about Vito is they done slow walk Vito because everybody else around Vito age then already started getting to it.
That's why I don't even have no comment, Mill. I ain't got no comment. Hey, look, not to congrats to Vito and his team. Y'all may not like what I had to say, but I mean, no comment. It's a lot of guys, a lot of dogs up there at 160 that you'd be more than happy to see you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to it. I feel like I ain't gonna pussy for the round no more. Uh, Devin Haney. Devin Haney drops Brian Norman Jr. Put something on his ass. Uh, it to me, it was a good fight on paper. I felt like it was a 50-50 fight, and I was really, really excited for that fight. And Dev showed up. Uh, you were uh, you were your son's trainer,
Yeah.
but manager too. So this is not foreign to you. You've moved a fighter before. Your son's undefeated. You moved a fighter. You've been a promoter. You've been a trainer. You know the boxing business.
For sure.
What did you see?
It was a lot of things I saw. What you saw was the separation between a born boxer and a just a average boxer puncher. Also, you saw the difference between a managerial extraordinaire in Bill Haney and somebody who's just looking to get his feet wet, who thinks he knows what he's talking about and found out that he didn't know shit. And Brian
Mm,
Norman Sr. And look, hey, he can feel some type of way about it if he want to or not. Don't make me no difference. But the truth of the matter is, if you look at their styles, it never matched up. It never meshed well. The fight with Boots didn't mesh well. That's why you didn't want the fight. And Boot and let me give you a little tidbit, which they already know already from the sparring. He's a much bigger puncher. He's got a much faster jab. And he's going to definitely put them punches together that's going to hurt you. And you ain't getting up if you fought that fight. If you bring that same fight that you brought to Devin Haney to Boots, you probably win the last 5 rounds. Simple as that. Now that's from the boxing aspect. Now we take it
mm,
to the managerial aspect. I understand. Hey, look, for him as his manager, for him as his son's manager, your job is to get him the best payday that he can get, and he did. He sold the O to the highest bidder, and Turkey got some deep pockets, and
mm,
you got paid. So you did what you were supposed to do. Now, when you take it to the trainer aspect, I love to listen. I don't really listen to the announcers, but I love to listen to what the trainers have to say in the corner. He gave no sort of great advice to the kid in the middle of battle to get him out of that jam that he was in. The kid was fighting on instinct. That's what the kid was fighting on. He was fighting on instinct. His
mm.
instruction was dog shit. So I don't I'm sad for the kid because the kid came to fight. But as far as his father goes, all that shit you was talking, you didn't have that kid prepared for that fight. You know who Devin Haney is. We all know who Devin Haney is. If you're gonna fight Devin Haney, you're not gonna beat him in a boxing match. If you fight Boots, you're not gonna beat him in a boxing match. If you fight Abdullah Mason, you're not gonna beat him in a boxing match. If you fight Shakur Stevenson, you're not gonna beat him in a fucking boxing match. It's not gonna happen. You're gonna have to fight him.
Do you think that as a team they underestimated Devin? Because I know in the lead up to the fight, they was talking about what Devin didn't have. They said he was chinny, he didn't have any power. And I remember the face to face, Dev said, "What if I put you down?" He's like, "You can't put me down. You ain't got nothing in them gloves." He was like, "Okay, I want you to remember that. Remember that you said that. We
I
can
remember.
timestamp it." And that's kind of what I saw when he stepped over, like when he kind of like after he knocked him down, he kind of like hovered over him and
Yeah.
said something to him. And I think it was to those lines.
I think that well, I know that they definitely underestimated him. They definitely thought that, but this once again, this is where the father, especially because and I used to always hear when I was training my son, I used to always hear, "Oh man, but you never was a pro boxer, but you never fought in the ring before." I understand that. Here's a time where him as a boxer, when you cutting weight, especially when you cutting as much weight as Dev was cutting. Dev was always a big 135. From the time he came out of the amateur, he was a big 135. They knew he wasn't really supposed to be at 135 for real, for real.
Yes.
But he took his shot and he did what he had to do, and he was very professional about how he went about his business. He made weight every time. He never had to pay nobody. He never missed weight and lost a title on the scale. None of that nut shit that we've seen other 135s do. They know who I'm talking about. Anyway, With that being said, if the kid is moving up to 147, how don't y'all understand that he's going to carry power up with him because now he's actually going to his normal weight class.
Mm.
And he's a much slicker and better boxer than your son. Hey, look, no shade to nobody. He's a better fighter. He's a better all-around rounded boxer. Forget the casual shit. Forget all the who's bigger and who got bigger muscles. Muscles don't win fights. Skills pay the bills. They knew that already. Y'all decided that y'all was gonna try to match skills with a nigga that's more skilled than you. Doesn't make any sense. You got put down. It's normal.
I didn't understand. I thought they were going to like bring the fight to Dev. I thought that he was going to stalk Dev. I want him to stalk Dev behind the jab. I felt like that was the best course of action. Stalk him behind the jab and then cut the ring off. Use the jab while cutting the ring off and let your hands go. He seemed to try to box with Dev, and I was kind of surprised when I first saw that.
Why? That's what I'm at. Why would you try? Why would you try? It's like trying to box Floyd Mayweather. It's like trying to box, Shane Mosley. It's like trying to box guys that are master boxers. These guys have been brought up in the gym their whole life. They are the goods as far as boxing go. That with Dev, you saw the only way you're going to beat him is if you catch him with some shit, a la Ryan Garcia, which I don't even count that because the motherfucker was on steroids, and it kills me that people keep bringing it up and saying, "Oh, well, Ryan beat him. I don't care. You can't erase this. You can't erase that." The man was on steroids, man. Like, hey, look, I'm not one to. You definitely can't erase what you saw, but you also know that he never looked that way again. The next time you saw him, he looked like he was sucked down. He looked like he was small. When you saw him with Dev, he looked like He Man, and he got beat. The
At
very
47,
the very next time out, he got beat
he got cooked. Rolly.
by
Yeah,
somebody who
outboxed.
can't box.
He got outboxed by Rolly.
By somebody that can't box. Now, here we go. Now, here we go. Because everybody likes to look ahead instead of giving the man his credit. Now, if you put Rolly in the ring, well, you know what they're gonna say? Oh man, Rolly wasn't good, man. You know the casual fans, the casual dickheads. Oh man, Rolly wasn't that good though, but Brian Norman wasn't that good. Y'all, all y'all kept talking about was him knocking Jen Sasaki out. Who the fuck was Jen Sasaki? What are we talking about right now? He didn't have, real rap. Not to diminish that man's resume. He beat no A fighter whatsoever. He beat no A fighter. There was no A fighter or champion that he beat. If anybody can name me one, I'll shut the fuck up and cut this interview off.
Yo, he had a lot of buzz, right? Coming off of three great knockouts. Um, I feel like the social media aspect was really important. He did a lot of interviews, but also credit to Brad, man. Brad might be the best matchmaker in boxing. Top ranked. They know how to do it. They know how to make the guys look like $1 million. Do you think his level of star power, his recent star power and hype came from Brad or came from him, or a combination of the two?
It's a combination of the two, but I would definitely say more Brad because Top Rank moved him. Top Rank got him in the position that he was in. He did what he was supposed to do. He beat guys that and even in the Centillion fight, he wasn't supposed to win that fight. So I give him credit for the fights. But this is where you go into the level of the fighter that he was fighting. Centillion don't match up with a Linares. The next dude he fought don't match up with Regis Prograis. We talking about two different levels of fighting. When you switch levels of fighting, that's where you find out where you are. So when you see a guy like Devin Haney, he's been in huge fights. He's been in fights for multiple titles. He's been in unifications. He's been in undisputed fights. Brian Norman never been in none of that. What are we talking about? Like it's not. It's to me. It's not even a debate.
Were you surprised in the second round where Dev hooked with the hooker, visibly hurt him, wobbled him, and then went in for the kill?
Brian Norman's chin was never like that. I don't. This is what I'm saying. This anybody who's watched this fight, he's been put down. He's been wobbled. You've seen him visibly hurt and shaken. He was never that dude. That's why the whole shit bothered me with the book shit because if you was gonna fight the nigga for the titles, you would have fought and somebody would have won 3 or 4 titles at the same time. You wanted more money, fine. You went and he went and sought out more money. Devin Haney and Turkey came with more money, fine. But you wasn't gonna beat either one of them. You was never that dude. You was never that dude. That's what me and you was talking about the last interview we had. You're
Yeah.
not that guy.
I think the biggest issue that I had is they tried to paint a picture that people from Philly hated him. People were from Philly hated on him, and we were against him. And just because we told our truth, and our truth is, they mentioned the sparring, but we talked about what we saw in the sparring, and then all of a sudden we just became haters. You had dudes picking Dev. Oh no, you only picking Dev because you're hating on him. When everything that people from Philly said ended up transpiring. Y'all said that Dev couldn't hurt him. He did.
Anybody that puts on a pair of gloves can be hurt. It don't matter who you are. And we've seen the best, the greatest boxers of all times be hurt. People are going to get hurt. And it's not talking down on Brian Norman or talking down on Dev. We all know Dev is a master boxer. The only way you're going to beat Dev is if you touch that chin. It's the only way you're going to beat him. No, it's rarely going to be somebody that's going to outbox him. There's probably only 4 or 5 guys in the world that's going to outbox that kid at 147. That would be if he goes up and fights Boots, if he fights a Shakur Stevenson, if he fights maybe a Tiafimo, maybe uh maybe a Keyshawn. It's going to have to be somebody that's as sharp and as seasoned as he is. And if you're not as sharp or as seasoned as he is, you're not going to beat him unless you rough him up and touch him. Pause. That's the only way you beat the guy. It's the only way you beat one of those guys. Any one of those guys I named, and it's not joeing these dudes or what they call young cats call glaze. It's not glaze. These dudes have been in the gym since they was fucking babies, man. They just sharp. They're super sharp, and you're not going to beat them unless you either rough them up or you knock them out. You hit them with a shot that they don't see.
Where does he go from here?
Oh, he's got
Both fights.
many different ways to go from here. He can go up to 54 if he want to. At 47, I will go after all the belts. I mean, once again, he's going to have that boots problem where niggas ain't gonna fight. They not fighting. They not fighting Devin Haney. After they saw
Yeah.
this fight, they're not fighting him.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, Connor Ben and Eddie surprised me, yo. Connor Ben and Eddie surprised me because I've heard Connor Ben call out Dev on numerous occasions when Dev was at the lower weights. Now Dev gets there and you realize that's not the Dev you used to.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the Dev you used to. That's a
Yeah.
different kind of Dev. It's a Dev that can hurt you. He can outbox you and he can hurt you. And then now all of a sudden, no, I want Rolly, I want Barrios, and I was disappointed.
This is what I'm saying, but this is what I'm saying to you. When they realize, oh shit, it ain't the cakewalk that I thought it was gonna be. Maybe that one shot. When you first off, whenever you hear somebody say, "Man, he better than him," but if as soon as you hear that if, you already know that the other fighter is the superior fighter, and they really don't mean what they say. If you got to put an if in there, you think he don't know what the if is? He knows if I hit you with a big punch, if I hit you with a hook, if I hit you with a lucky overhand right, then I can put you out. That's not gonna win a fight, especially against a guy of that caliber. You hey, shout out to Bill Haney. Shout out to the fucking architect. Bill Haney is a special guy. He knows exactly who to pick at exactly what time. He's picking the right guys. He picked Brian Norman for a reason. It was a cakewalk. And one thing I love about Bill brings in Bill like much like myself. I'm not no motherfucking I'm not no customato or none of that shit like that. Guess what I'm gonna
Mm.
do? I'm gonna bring in guys that I know suit the fight that I'm getting ready to fight to help me get my son prepared for the next bout. That's what he always did. He brought in Freddie Roach. He brought in Shane Mosley. He brought in Roy Jones. He brought in Mickey Bay. Shout out to Mickey Bay, by the way, who was a great fucking trainer. These guys that he brings in, he prepares his son for fight by fight for whoever he has to get ready to do battle with. And they did a great job. They took everything that he was good at, they took away. Everything that they thought he was
Yo,
going to use, he couldn't.
yo, they got out there though November 2nd. They were out there for 3 weeks. Brian Norman and them got out there the week of.
Once
And
again, Once
It's
again,
like
managerial
it's like yeah,
managerial prowess, bro.
and we kind of already figure what that's about because the promotion is probably only going to spend week of money, and so the rest of that shit got to come out your pocket.
On you. This is what these people, this is what these boxing fans don't get. The money that Bill spends on training, Bill and Devin spend on training. Most of these guys don't have in their budget at all. They're preparing to do battle the right way. When you think about a Boots Ennis and a Shakur Stevenson, these guys are at home. Once again, I got people in Texas, I have people here. With that being said, these guys prepare year round for whatever is coming their way. You're not going to catch them slipping. You're not going to catch them off weight. You're not going to catch them lacking in the gym. You're not going to catch them not sparring. You're not going to catch them off balance at all. So when you come, you're going to have to come correct in order to beat them. And Brian Norman just wasn't it. He was never it. And I don't even know why we even had this conversation at this point. Brian Norman was a second class B fighter. Period. I even give him a B plus. He was a B plus fighter fighting a plus fighter, and you lost.
Smitty, what up? All right, so what would you do for him? I felt like he deserved a hometown fight by Top Rank when he won the belt, but they wanted to put him in B-side situations and women's undercards. Like, what would you do for him? You take him back to Atlanta? Do you get him a guy that he can knock out and look good? And which route makes the most sense?
Well,
Because
this
it's a
this
couple fights I would love to see Norman in.
Well, this is where your daddy got you in a bad spot because he talked all that crazy shit about how high of a fighter you was and how good you were, and you could beat all these different guys, and you calling these people out, and my son is this and my son is that. Now you got to prove that. Now from now on you got to fight guys like the guys that are lower than you. You ain't got no money to put no asses in the seats. You ain't never put no asses in the seats like that. Where do you go? It's unfortunate, but where does he go from here? You got to go fight. You want to go fight one of them killers.
I would love to see him and Stanionis. I think him and Connor Ben's a great fight. Him and Rashidi Ellis, I've always liked that fight.
Rashidi Ellis would kill him. That's an even worse fight. That's an even worse fight than Devin. That's an even worse fight than Devin.
You think it's because of the speed difference?
Yes. The foot speed, the hand speed, the reaction time. It's an even worse fight than Devin.
What
Anybody of that ilk, whether it's a speedy guy with fast hands, a guy with fast feet, a guy who's been boxing for a really long time, that's a savant. Any of those guys are a bad matchup for Brian Norman. It just is what it is.
Smitty said, him and Karen. Ooh.
I think Karen will beat him. Karen got good feet.
That motherfucker can move 12 rounds. That motherfucker can move for 12 rounds. It's hard to be the dude that can move 12 rounds and not get tired.
I ask a question. Have these people not learned anything from watching the Canelo and Crawford fight? Have y'all not learned anything? It's not nothing new. Have y'all not learned anything from watching the Boots Ennis and Stanionis fight? Have y'all not learned anything from watching the Boots Ennis and what's the kid
Roman Villa.
Roman Villa fight? Y'all haven't learned nothing. Y'all have not learned anything. A boxing savant is a boxing savant, and it's hard to beat them. The only way you're going to beat them is if you press them niggas, and you're going to have to press them. You're going to have to keep them for 12 rounds. You're going to have to keep that pressure on them, and you're going to have to land significant punches in order to beat them. It's very unlikely it's going to happen.
You talked about the instructions that Norman Sr. was giving in the corner, especially like after the knockdown. Like, what was he lacking?
Number one, y'all accept these clinches. Why you supposed to be this big, strong? You got all these muscles. Why are you accepting the clinches? Why? Why are you letting them hit you on the break? Why are you sitting back trying to jab this guy when you know goddamn well that your best chance is to land something significant on his chin? You ain't gonna land from the outside. You ain't gonna land no big right hand or no big left hook from the outside. You already punch off balance as it is, which everybody knew. That's a part of your scouting report. What are we talking about? Like, like I said, I ain't Customato. I ain't the greatest boxing trainer in the world, but I know what I'm looking at. You ain't no sharpshooter. He's the sharpshooter. So the only way you're gonna be the sharpshooter is by pressing him out. Pause.
You trying to shoot with a sniper. You gotta throw a rocket at that motherfucker. You
You
gotta
got to
throw a
bomb that nigga.
grenade up there. You know what
You
I'm saying?
gotta bomb that nigga, man. You gotta bomb. You gotta bomb. Spe- One thing about guys like Dev and Abdullah Mason, them guys, they got long paws. They got long ass arms. You gonna have to get inside of his arm length, and you gonna have to press him out. You're not gonna beat him from the outside. They got great distance. Shakur Stevenson's distance is impeccable. You're gonna have to press him out to beat him. You're not gonna beat him sitting back thinking you gonna outbox him. You're wasting your time.
In the lead up to the fight, Norman Sr. and Norman Jr. was doing a lot of press. And a topic that the media was bringing up consistently to Norman Jr. was dryness. Senior was kind of bringing up Boots on his own, even though the media was also bringing up Boots. Fans felt like that he was more focused on Boots. Senior was more focused on Boots in the lead up than actually preparing for Devin Haney. Do
Well,
you
they
agree?
thought that, and this is the problem with power punchers, right? For some reason, they think that they're the only ones with a gun. Nigga, we all got guns. We all gonna show up with a gun. Your gun might be bigger than mine, but if you can't land with your shot, nigga, I'm gonna shoot you and I'm gonna hurt you. It's just that simple. Why would you come into a fight? And what you just said about the lead up to the fight, where they would say, "Oh, but what if I put you down?" Hit Brian Norman Jr.'s reaction was, "You ain't got nothing in them gloves. You ain't got nothing in them gloves." That's what he thought. He thought that because you can't punch, you can't hurt me. That's the worst way to ever approach any boxing match. If I'm his coach, I'm telling him, yo, you gotta be aware because it's the shot that you don't see that puts you down. It ain't nothing, it ain't gotta be the hardest punch. It just gotta catch you off balance at a time where you're not paying attention. With that being said, my guy, you gotta be fucking crazy to go into that fight and think that this man can't put you down and he shocked you early. He didn't just get you, he shocked you early, put you down real bad. Now your eye look all crazy, and now they gonna meme you. Now your confidence messed up because they gonna meme the shit out
My man Alico, he said Norman Sr. all in the videos, like
you.
96 Puffy. Yo, he's out of pocket.
You don't want nobody all in your videos
All in the
dancing.
video. Oh
He a
man, the
fool. He
Suge
a fool
Knight.
for
Yeah,
that.
you funny as shit for that.
He a fool for that. He a
My
fool for
man
that.
boxing fan running into him, hit the body. He don't hit hard. He don't counterpunch. I already told you that these instructions Senior gave before he got dropped. Wow.
With that being said, think about how bad those instructions was, bro. Think about how bad though. I mean, the instructions was so bad that that's almost like amateur. Once again, shout out to Bill Haney. He brought Mickey Bay wasn't with him the last couple fights. He said, "Dang, you know what? Let me get Mickey Bay in here because Mickey Bay is super sharp as a trainer. When Mickey Bay was here training with Eric Hunter, shout out to Eric Hunter, Kadeem Hunter, them guys. When they train, these guys train to be super sharp. They train the eyes to be ready to react to punches. They train to get out of the way of shit. They train to move your head off the line, which he didn't do. All these things. Brian Norman Sr., you gonna need help, baby. At this level right here, you gonna need help, sir. You gonna need to call in one of them dudes. What one of those dudes that been at the top level, because you haven't. You gonna have to bring one of them dudes in to help you out. Otherwise, your son gonna be a crash dummy. Here's the biggest part of this interview, Mill. Seek help.
Okay. Yo, something that you said was very telling though. I was taught in Philly, speed is power.
For
The
sure.
shit that you don't see is the stuff that hurts you. For me, maybe I'm just a naturally scary dude, but I'm going to assume you have everything until you prove to me that you don't. I'm not going to assume shit. I'm not going to assume that you can't punch. I'm not going to assume that you're not skillful. I'm not going to assume that you don't have feet. I'm not going to assume that you can't take a shot. You got to prove to me in that ring that you can't do those things before I assume that you can't. Because there's been plenty of times where in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, this fight is going to go this way. This dude can do this. And guess what? He does it. There's plenty of skills and ability that these guys have that they don't bring out because guess what? They don't have to. Dudes didn't know that Devin could fight on the inside. Devin only showed you a fucking jab, a 1-2, in distance. That's all he showed you. Vasily Lomachenko fight comes around. Guess what? Watch this. Slipping, shifting on the inside, touching him to the body, giving him angles. I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
I mean, once again, this is it. And remember who was in his corner in that fight? Freddie Roach. So once again, the one thing I love about Bill Haney is he has no ego. Even though he talks shit and he talk crazy and he a crazy motherfucker, he he brings in who he needs to bring in when he needs to bring him in. He don't have no ego about I gotta be the captain of the ship and I gotta be the final say and I got don't everything run through me. All that stuff can be true and you can still bring in help. Sometimes you just need help. And Brian Norman is not the kind of fighter. Remember, Devin Haney been in the gym with Floyd, been in the gym with Tank, he been in the gym with Shakur, he been in the gym with all these dudes since he was a child. Brian Norman, you like Devin said, you've been in the motherfucking in the motherfucking garage, baby. You ain't been like that. You ain't been getting that kind of help.
Hey, Slick, I didn't say he was a great inside fighter when I could say his depth can fight on the inside. It was something that people thought that he couldn't do at all. And yeah, Loma was able, you talking about a high level fighter. Loma was able to land on him while he was in the inside, but he also did great work on the inside against Loma. Them body shots, them uppercuts to the body, them hooks to the body, definitely slowed Loma down.
And just to acknowledge what they saying, right? You know, one guy said Bill got ego. You know what I mean? Bill does have ego, but when it comes to his son and getting the training that he needs, sir, Bill has no ego. He takes his ego and puts that shit in the trash. He brings in the guys that he need to help in order to win these fights. He didn't win these fights by himself. He wasn't he was the architect of the fight, but he wasn't the guy who built the game plan by himself. He brought in guys that could help his son get sharp for the fucking fight. What part of this don't y'all understand? There's different ways of preparing a fighter for a fight. There's the mental preparation, there's the physical preparation, but then there's also the skill preparation. When you see a fighter has something that he doesn't do well or something that you want to take away from him, you need the help when you don't have the mental fortitude to do it. There are some people who when you think of the bread mans, you think of the custom models, you think of the Teddy Atlas. Them guys know boxing inside, outside, left, right, up, down, diagonal. Those guys are rare. You know, you think of Andre Ward's trainer. You think of Roy Jones. You think of those kind of guys. Those guys are boxing savants. Bill Haney knows I might be a savant, but I'm not as sharp as these guys. So I'm gonna bring in people who I know are better at it than I am, and they're gonna help me. Simple.
All right. My man, Atheist Ghostbuster, do you think Dev would actually take a fight with Boots at 154? And if so, how does he do in that matchup? Appreciate the $5 super chat.
Dev gets beat. He gets beat by Boots. He gets beat by Shakur Stevenson. He gets beat. He may beat somebody like Abdullah Mason or somebody like that. Even then, it's a real tough matchup. But either way, in order for him to win those fights, it, it would be a stretch.
I think at 147 pounds, I might give Dev the edge over Shakur, being that he seemed like he's trying to fill out in that weight class. But I never ever wanted to see Dev in Boots. I'm a big Dev guy. And I felt like I was asking too much of Dev because you were a big 35 who highly skilled, wasn't the biggest puncher, and then asking him to fight a big 47, really skilled, who's a really big puncher. I felt like that's asking too much of him. Let's see what he do at 147 pounds because moving
Oh,
up to fight Boots,
I think he'll run. I think he'll run 147. There
yeah,
ain't nobody at 47 that has his skill.
yeah.
I mean, he is just as skilled as Boots is at 147. He's just not as big or as big a puncher. Um, so with that being said, I don't see nobody at 147 beating him. I mean, I mean, I guess you got to give Ryan the edge because he did win the fight, but I mean, take him off them steroids. Ryan before the steroids and Ryan after the steroids, two different Ryans. So I mean, who beats him at 47? There's nobody there to beat him.
I mean, for me, we got 153 people here. Let's get the likes up, hit the subscribe button. All I want is to dispel this narrative that Philly hates on Brian Norman. We didn't hate on Brian Norman. We supported Brian Norman and Norman Sr. before they ever even came to world level. They came up here to get work. And I think you were in the gym with him during them sparring days, if I'm not mistaken.
Sure.
We just didn't think he could beat Boots. When they spoke on the sparring, we spoke on what we saw. We just analyzed fights. Don't nobody got nothing personal with Norman Jr. Yeah, there's people that don't like Senior, but nobody's taking it out on the son. Boxing is boxing. You either win some or you lose some. That's life.
That's another person they're not talking about. They're not talking about Africa. Hey, look, that might be
I
something
like that fight.
that might be
I
something
like
that
that
Dev
fight.
want to slide to the side. You know what I'm saying? He might want to just have him pop to the side. Pause. Hey, look, that's a great fight. That's a guy that could
Yo,
be
I would if I'm Dev, I would want to catch Africa at his first fight at 47.
for sure. That's about the only time you want to fight him. But
I think
that's a hard technical fight. That's a hard
yeah,
technical hard.
I think that's a really, really even fight. And Africa's gonna be a better fighter at 147 pounds because he's not a little kid.
But that's what I'm saying. That's a fight when he comes up. Whenever he comes up to 47, that's going to be a great fight. Once again, but these are the fights that should happen. These are the fights that need to happen. The, Once again, Brian Norman don't beat Africa. We can put that up there. Sit that on your counter. He can't beat. He won't beat any of those guys. He just won't. He has no shot.
Alexander,
It would be
Africa
the
is
same fight.
Richardson Hitchens. There's some
It,
dudes
it would,
that there's some dudes that Brian does beat. There's some dudes that'll be really, really competitive with fights with Brian. I don't think he can beat Africa. No. I agree with you 100%. I don't think he can beat Africa. Africa
my
controls
question
distance too well.
And my question is, where do you so if you're them, which we already knew anyway, where does Brian Norman go from here?
I think he
You
can fuck Tio up. I think he can fuck Ryan up if he gets those. I think he can fuck Mario Barrios up.
I think if he fought Tio and he fuck around and get clipped, he might go to sleep though. That's the problem.
Nah, you think Tio?
Tio throw some fast punches. One, you gotta remember what his strong suits are and what he's weak at.
It is
He's
counter punching.
very weak. He's very weak at fighting a guy that's moving. And Tio, one thing we know is Tio can move.
I would. I think B Norman can beat Rolly too.
I think he could definitely beat Rolly, but the problem is they're not going to take that fight. Nobody's going to take that fight. Now you're nobody without that belt. You ain't shit. To be honest, let's just keep it 1,000. Without that belt around your waist, you ain't shit.
Here
Come on.
and here's the crazy thing about boxing is that Top Rank didn't build up his star power, whereas though now he can take something tangible
That's
to
what I'm
people
trying to
see
tell
like,
you.
look, let's make this fight because he can punch and he's still dangerous. And so him being dangerous and not being a star and not having a belt, oh, they about to give you ass to kiss. Because now Eddie got the mandatory for the WBA, which is supposed to fight Rolly. He got Lewis Crocker, the IBF. And Turkey Alashiki got Dev. And PBC got the WBA and the WBC.
You got no shot.
So
You got no shot.
who's gonna rock out with you?
They're going to force you into a hard fight, and a guy like Rashidi, a guy like Richardson Hitchens coming up at 147, you get beat. You'll see. Yeah, like I said, people. Hey, I've been wrong. I've been wrong. I've been wrong. Right in front of the world. I've been wrong, but I've been right a couple times too. With that being said, there's nowhere for him to go.
Molly, I'm not sure that Brian Norman can beat Karen. I think that's a good fight. I
Be who?
think that'll be a fight that I love to see. Karen Chukazan.
I'm not. I'm really not sure about that. That's not. Why has nobody fought Karen since Boots? Why? Ain't nobody lining up to go fight Stanionis. Ain't nobody lining up to go fight Stanionis like that. Why?
That's the that's the perfect fight
That is absolutely the perfect fight.
for like let Brian Stanionis got his tune up. Let Brian get a tune up, right? Coming off of a loss, his eye was visibly shut. Let him get a tune up. Make that fight for a title eliminator. Both
I
of
agree.
them world champions. They lost. They defended their world titles and they lost. Make that shit for a title for a final eliminator.
I agree.
I would love to see that.
I agree. I mean, and you like I said, you can throw a Rolly in there when the time comes. Rolly is a great fight for any of them guys. Rolly for as nutty as Rolly is a fight that he could win or he could lose. But it ain't gonna happen. Brian Norman without a belt ain't shit. The whole point with Boots was that they didn't want to fight the motherfucker because that they knew that the same thing that happened last night was going to happen with Boots, and it would have been much worse. They knew that already. Without the belt, you ain't shit. That's the message I want to get through to them. Let's see where y'all go from here. Because now everybody's seen that you weak at certain things. Everybody's seen they seen the playbook on you. Nobody had the playbook on you before. They know the playbook on you now. Let's see. Let's see if you're the great trainer that you say you are. Let's find out.
I think everybody in the top 10, top 15 is capable of beating Mario Barrios. I think,
I think you're capable of beating Mario Barrios.
yo, I ain't even gonna lie, and I mean no disrespect. But when you look at boxing, there's dudes that you know, like, yo, I can't fuck with him. Or no, Mario Barrios is somebody I would try.
Everybody was trying them, but they say no
Mario,
to everybody.
Mario is somebody I would try, yo.
To go fight a 50-year-old Manny Pacquiao, come on, man. It's disrespect. It's disrespectful to all the other guys that was waiting to get a title shot, man.
It was.
It was disrespectful, man. It was straight up spit in your face disrespect.
I'm rooting for Mario to beat Ryan. I ain't gonna lie to you.
But you know it ain't gonna happen. You know Ryan's gonna beat him, and when Ryan beats him, they're gonna put him on top of the world and say, "Oh, he's this, he's that. Oh, Ryan is bad." Why y'all keep even bringing this fool name? This nigga's a drug cheat, man. Straight up and down drug cheat, like super drug cheat, nigga. Without the drugs, he looked like dog shit. Yeah, he picked fucking
Bag of ass.
yeah, he picked Barrios. Of course, that's a great fight to come back on. Go fight Barrios who don't want to fight nobody.
Yo, and you know what doesn't get mentioned enough? Of course, you know Ryan has a little racist rant, but what don't get mentioned enough is that Rolly got to look back for the culture.
For sure.
A lot of people don't even realize. We got 130 people in the chat. Do y'all know that Rolly's black? No, yeah, I gotta ask him because not a lot of people know that Rolly's black.
Somebody said Brian Norman is a gatekeeper. I agree. He's an absolute gatekeeper. He's a measuring stick guy. Pause. He's a measuring stick guy. He's a guy you measure he's a guy you measure the guy with.
Yo, MC, Rolly half. I don't know if y'all knew that. Black and Cuban.
I hope they make these fights. I mean, that's the thing. We need to know who's the best. We need to find out if Dev is what he is. We need to find this out. And at this point, y'all need to unify these titles because this shit ain't cool. Like what they did to the kid and made him move up to 54 because he couldn't sit around waiting for y'all to play pussyfoot. Eh, Go fight, man. Go fight one another. Stop fighting these whack fights. Go fight one another for the titles and get the shit unified, man.
Yeah, and that's the part that by the time the 147 got star power, Boots had already grown out of the division. And I see him get a lot of flack. And people like, oh, you should have stayed. It's like, bro, Devin is on his third division. Shakur's on his fourth.
Right.
Ryan's on his third. Like all the guys around Boots' age. Virgil's on his third division. Jesus Ramos is on his third or fourth division. Vito Melnicki's on his third. Ain't no way that you can stay in a weight class for 10 plus years and it not have an effect on you. And so I would have loved to see Boots get uh Tiafimo and all these guys with names. Do I think they're competitive fights? No. But
Absolutely
time
not.
ran out on the division.
Right. And hey, look, sadly, what we're watching at 54, they don't want no smoke up there neither.
Hey, Gold, Rolly's half black, bro. I was just saying that don't get talked about enough for everybody highlights, Ryan's comments and, they get on people for not getting T.O. back, but don't give Rolly no props for getting that lick back for those comments.
Ryan is just not as good as he's built out to be. Same thing. It's the same thing with him as
Yo,
it is with Brian Norman. He's
gifted.
okay. He's a decent fighter, but he's not what they build him out to be.
He's gifted in certain aspects, but he has big holes. Pause. And because he has big holes, it's easy. I ain't gonna say it's easy, but you already know what to do. You know Ryan can't move his feet, right? You know Ryan's gonna be left hook heavy. You know Ryan fights with his chin in the air. So all Tank did was sit on that hook. As soon as he threw that bitch, now he coming right over. He dips it and coming right over top of that bitch. Gone.
And any boxing, and I keep leaving Tank out, but it's only because I'm not sure about Tank anymore, even fighting again. But um, when you talk about boxing savants, they not going for the dumb shit. The hokey doke, the shit with Rolly and Rolly against a prime Africa or a prime Devin Haney, a prime Boots, prime, he's going to sleep. He's going to sleep within 6 rounds. He's going to get picked off. He's going to picked off with something. So you're going to throw one of them stupid punches. They're
Who'd you
going
say,
to sleep.
Rolly?
Yeah.
Respectfully, Boots puts Rolly down in 2 to 3.
It's going to, Devin, to me, Devin puts him down in 6 or 7. And they say he got feather fist.
Yo, they call. All right, so shouts out to Mill City Boxing. Mill City did an interview with Brian right afterwards. I think a fan criticized Brian for not being with his son and being on live. He felt like the guy, I think he just commented, he felt like instead of being on live, he should have been consoling his son,
I,
first loss or whatnot.
I agree.
Um, but when he was on live on Mill City, uh, somebody said, like, yo, you called Devin pillow fisted before the fight. But what was in them pillows? That was a good one. I ain't gonna lie, that was a good one.
I don't want shit on the dude. They just lost a fight. It's
Yo,
real simple.
fans.
But
Fans is going,
that's because motherfuckers talk reckless behind keyboards. They act crazy. They don't really realize what this business does and how hard it is to make it. Hey, the kid is a millionaire at 25 years old. I give him all the credit in the world. I give his dad the credit that he deserves for getting him there. My only critique is, sir, now that you're here, you're gonna have to get help. You're not gonna be able to do. You've shown that at the top level you can't do it by yourself. You're not gonna be able to do it by yourself. You're gonna need help. You're gonna need to bring some help in and get your kid sharper, get his feet right. So maybe he could beat one of these guys, because the only way he gets a title back is by beating one of them dudes. And right now that ain't gonna be the case. It ain't gonna work for you.
um, I think Junior will be back. I don't think his career's over. I think he'll be back in the mix.
I don't think his
He's
career over by no
Yeah.
means.
No, you got some people that are pushing that narrative, but he lost to a better fighter, and Devin was the better man that night. So watch the tape, go back, and improve. That's all you can do. And when your next opportunity, show out. Um, my message to Senior would be focus on the task at hand.
And watch your
Right?
fucking mouth. Watch your fucking mouth. Because
The
because they
inter-
wrote because they wrote you a check your ass couldn't cash.
yeah, the internet is a place that you can get easily roped up in,
For sure.
and it has its pluses and it has its minuses. Stop making every situation personal when it doesn't have to be. And understand that the internet is a tool. It is to be used, but you can get used. And I feel like he has gotten used on the internet, and it kind of diverted his focus from the task at hand.
Well, he was focused. He is Brian Norman Jr. is who he is. He's a hard charging, power punching dude that can upset you if you want some bullshit. He's not a level sharpshooter with great skill that was raised up in the gym to be the guy. You're not that. And when you get in with those dudes, you're gonna have a problem until you get help.
I'm saying focus as in you cannot be 100% focused on the task at hand if you're doing interviews talking about Jaron Ennis every day in the lead up to the fight. Devin is the main goal. Devin is the only thing that exists in your world.
I agree. I can tell you this: they whatever God they serve, whether it's Allah, Buddha, Yahweh, any of them, you better thank God you didn't get in that ring with Booz Ennis because you would have got starched real
Salute,
bad.
salute to Adrian. Salute to Jolene. They did an excellent job. Um, I give credit where credit is due. Right, you fighting Devin as opposed to fighting Boots, whereas though Devin he took some punishment in that fight, he got hurt, but he got outboxed. If Brian fought Boots with the same kind of style and game plan, it could have ended a lot worse, and you got more money out of it. So they did an excellent job of moving the client. Excellent job.
He would have been on the opposite end of that Jen Sasaki punishment that he dished out
I agree.
for sure. And please stop showing that bullshit. Jen Sasaki was no goddamn A-level fighter, and you quickly saw that he was a maybe a D-level fighter, and he got put out. That's gonna happen to any that would happen to me or you if we stepped in there with a fucking world-class fighter. You're gonna get put out. Jen Sasaki wasn't that dude. Stop showing that bullshit, man.
Appreciate the $5 super chat from my man Marley Marl. Even after last night, I still got Abdullah over Schofield. I got Abdullah over Schofield, respectfully.
I think that's a great fight. I think
Yeah,
it's a
it's a good
I
fight though.
think I think it's a wonderful fight. I think that if that fight got made, it would be great. But I know for sure that fight ain't getting made because that's one of them joints they're gonna marinate for 2 years. And maybe if both of them keep their win streaks, then maybe it'll happen. But it's a very decent possibility that it ain't never happening.
You already know.
Yeah.
You already know.
Oscar ain't got many dogs left anyway, so
Nah,
you
you gotta protect them dogs. We already see what's going on with
he gonna
you already see
protect
what's
them
going on with
motherfucking dogs, homie.
you already see what's going on with Virgil. Like, yo, anytime you saying the dude needs two tune-ups, he don't want to fight, he ducked Virgil, he turned it down, and the dude pull up in your hometown at your fight with a hoodie and some shades on
With
and
the
a
chain.
chain,
Don't forget the
hop
chain.
in your
Don't forget.
ring,
Yeah.
and then go like this. It's time. Then the dude tell you that I'm gonna make you pay for everything that these niggas been saying. These dudes right here, I'm gonna make you pay for that. And then after that, you start talking about Earl Spence and
My hand
money and
hurt.
eight odds when y'all
My,
already had negotiated the fight and the money.
don't forget my hand hurt. Don't forget my
Yeah,
hand hurt. Don't forget to put that
bad
in there.
John, yeah.
Yeah, super bad, John.
Bad John. Though.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm happy, man. I'm happy that it turned out the way that it did. I must admit I'm a bit of a I'm a happy ending fan. Pause. It's a happy ending for that kid, Devin Haney and his pop. They worked really hard. They did what they were supposed to do. They made a lot of strategic moves. They didn't get built like the rest of these fighters. They built themselves. They financed themselves. They did everything that they needed to do to get to this level, and they didn't do like a lot of guys do and get to this level and falter. They got to this level and did really well, and they won the biggest fight. To me, this was a crossroads fight for him. This is the biggest fight of his life to date. I only say
Yeah.
that because it was a lot against him right now. So
Let's talk about it
congrats to him.
2024 before we head out because we've been on for an hour and I didn't want to keep you longer than that. But
Yeah.
hey Philip, I appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel. We got a lot of good content. But a lot of good interviews, bro. A lot of good interviews. Let's talk about the 2024 that Devin had. Devin got shitted on by everybody. He was the
Oh
butt
my
of everybody's
God,
jokes.
for sure.
Like, listen, you want to talk about perseverance, you want to talk about resolve, you want to talk about resiliency. To be shitted on every day by fans and content creators, and to be the butt of everybody's jokes, boxing analysts, commentators, like to be the butt of everybody's jokes, and to come back, move up in the division to face a dangerous puncher in a new weight class. That is like, can't nobody ever say shit about that again. To me,
I would agree, but they are, and
of course.
they're gonna shit on him regardless. Like I said, man, I can't say enough about their journey to where they are now. And now from here, I mean, I don't care if he lost every fight from here on out. I don't care if he got knocked out from here on out. That kid went up 3 different weight classes. He beat all the people that y'all said he couldn't beat, and the only hiccup was basically getting drug cheated.
Facts.
What do you say? What do you say to that? I mean, the kid, hey, the kid right now is a Hall of Famer. Period.
Yeah, I thought he was a Hall of Famer after the 4 belt undisputed.
Well, for sure. But now is
It's
y'all can take
undeniable.
y'all can
It's undeniable.
take that Ryan shit, throw that shit in the trash because y'all saw that, you know, if he ain't getting drug cheated, y'all saw when Ryan came back without the drugs, he was a different fighter, completely different fighter. Take that shit and throw it in the trash. It's always gonna get put out there. People always gonna talk about to get the left hook, him getting dropped 3 times, yada yada yada. He dispelled every rumor, every myth you had about him, that he can't stand in the pocket, that he can't take a punch, that he run around the ring, that he won't sit in the pocket, that he got pillow fists. All the shit y'all said that he proved that he wasn't. So I mean, where do you go from here? Y'all, all you can say is get a kid his credit. By the way, and even skipping that shit, going to Benavidez, congrats to the Benavidez family. Once again, that's another father son duo that I got to give credit to. Them dudes is rough, man. It was a rough fight with Anthony Yard. Anthony Yard ain't no easy out. He ain't no
Nah,
bum. He
he
brought that shit to him. He got put out. It is what it is.
definitely did, yo. Definitely did. Benavidez, I was a detractor, right? It was some things that I wanted to see. He answered every fucking question of mine, yo.
For sure.
Bad motherfucker.
I'm not a big fan of the Zero Ramirez fight next, but that's neither here nor there.
A blunt force. I know you saying I gotta talk my shit to Norman. Blunt force. I really don't though.
It ain't nothing to say. It ain't. There's no
Results.
as much as I
Yeah.
want to kill right now. I want to go in on bull. Ain't no sense in it. For what? They already we saw everything we need to see last night.
Blunt force. You can call me a liar, right? You can say I'm all these things, but the truth is the truth. You saw last night. Imagine what we saw in the sparring. Devin and Boots are two completely different fighters, but they're both highly skilled. They rely on speed, they rely on skill. Boots relies on a lot of power. Imagine what I saw. So I don't need to say a damn thing, right? I don't need to shit on Norman Jr. He stepped up in competition. He lost. Salute to him for stepping up. Salute to him for giving it his all. The proof's in the pudding as far as with senior goes. So I just hope they get back in the lab and improve, man.
I
That's
mean,
it.
really, the next his next fight will tell you even more than this fight. His first loss, coming off getting outclassed, his dad talking all that shit. We gonna see if his dad get some act right, get some humble to him. You know, we gonna see. We gonna find out a lot in the next couple fights because it ain't gonna be no the next fight. It can't be no easy touch. He's not gonna be able to fight just some dude off the street. He gonna have to fight somebody. In order to get back in them rankings, you gonna have to fight somebody. And ain't nobody giving you no title shot. Put that in there. Add that little tidbit in there.
Yeah, you gonna take that shit.
You going to beat somebody you wasn't supposed to beat in order to get back in that position. Remember, the person that you beat was Santillion. Santillion was good, but he wasn't no world beater. He wasn't nobody people was looking at saying, "Damn, nobody want to fight this guy." You gonna have to do what Devin did with you. You're going to fight somebody who nobody expects you to beat.
Right.
And unfortunately, if you fight somebody nobody expects you to beat, you probably gonna get put out.
I mean, like he got to get back to the lab, like you said. Get back to the lab, work on them weaknesses, man. Add Add something more to your team. I ain't saying fire anybody. I'm just saying add somebody that can add another dimension to you. Just that
Wait,
simple.
with
But
seniors bravado,
mm,
do you really expect them to bring somebody in? Come on, come on, come on, bro.
wait, we got kids, right? There comes a point professionally, but also as a parent. And I'm not telling him how to parent because he raised them kids on his own. So as a black man, I commend him for that. But we have to put our pride aside and sometimes do what's best for our children in their life going forward. So I feel like he, I feel like senior's going to do whatever's in the best interest of his son,
If I was a
and I
betting,
would hope that.
if I was a betting man, I bet the house that he ain't gonna do it, and it's gonna end up bad for him.
Hey, Ian Blunt, they want to present Philly as haters. We really ain't though. All we did was speak our truth, and last night our truth was proven. And I feel like it ain't even no reason to gloat or nothing like that. I feel you though. I'm not mad at you for carrying it that way. I'm just saying we got eyes. Our eyes, our eyes told the world that uh, one side was capping, the other side was keeping it a B.
I don't
That's
even
simple.
I don't even need that. There's no need to gloat. Go online. Go on. We on YouTube right now. Go on YouTube and look up Brian Norman sparring Quadir Albright. You'll see what you need to see. That's a kid that's only got 14 or 15 fights, who is nowhere near top 10 contention right now, who was giving him all the hell he could handle. Go
Yo,
online and look at the sparring yourself and tell me if you put that guy, that Brian Norman, in a ring with a Jerron Boots Ennis or a Virgil Ortiz or any of the top guys at 147 or 154, you won't.
here's the thing though. Qua's a puncher. Qua's not a like he's not a boxer per se. I'm not saying he's devoid of skill. I'm saying Qua is a knockout artist. All his fights end in a knockout.
For
So
sure.
he's not going to go out there and try to outskill you and make you look stupid. So if he was able to have a certain level of success boxing off the back foot, imagine if you put him in there with an elite level dude, that's what the fuck they do.
That's all I'm saying. Don't take my word for it. Go do your research and go look up the sparring and you'll see what you need to see.
Yeah. But Kris, thank you for joining me, man. I really, really appreciate you providing insight into the father-son trainer relationship, but also moving a fighter, man.
Hey man, listen, man. All I know is we got some great fights coming up. I'm very happy about it. I hope that in 2026 we make some more great fights. These guys got to fight each other so we can see who is the best. The money's clearly out there. You know, you got Turkey out there. The zone's paying. Everybody doing what they got to do. We just make the fights, man. Make the fights. Everybody stop ducking, stop hiding. Give the next generation their chance to be great. Hey, look, I know I've been in the gym with the guy. I think Boots is great. I think he's got a chance to be one of the all-time greats. Get that man a chance to get to the greatness level that we think he can get to. Devin Haney has a chance. He's already great. He's already a Hall of Famer. Devin Haney has a chance to be one of the greatest 147s in history. Give him a chance. Y'all gotta take the fights, man. All y'all guys that's holding the belts, all y'all guys that's holding y'all positions and not taking fights with tough guys behind the scenes like Rashidi Ellis's, the Roman Villas, the Stanionis's, all those guys that don't get a shot. Give these guys a chance to be great, man. Stop ducking.
I appreciate y'all, man, for stopping by. Subscribe to the channel. We out of here. Thanks, Kris.
Yes, sir.